Are you guys ready? Guys in the back. Here we go. The last thing that we're going to talk about is this. If you get put in jail, sometimes you get two options. You can actually spend a couple nights in jail, or they can give you the ankle monitor and you can be under house arrest. Everyone likes the look of house arrest. No one wants to be like, I'm in actual jail, right? So that's what we're doing today. We are taking this action that is written with a prison cell, and we're saying, what if we could rewrite this in a way that doesn't look as judgy and rewrite it with an ankle bracelet? So what we're talking about today is a thing called, I got to get a pen, rational exponents. Rational means fractions. So today we are going to be dealing with fraction exponents. And here's what a fraction exponent says. If you have this guy, the square root of x, he is in square root jail. He is x to the first power, because everyone has an exponent, and he's in kind of minimum security prison. And I now know, and you guys maybe saw this last year, you can rewrite it in a fancier way. And the fancy way is this. You still keep his exponent on the top, but if you're in jail or under house arrest, it goes on the bottom. And the level of house arrest, whether it's squared or fifth or eighth, goes on the bottom. Does that make sense? So remember, everyone's got an exponent. It's one or it's something, and then the level of detention goes on the bottom, okay? So here we go. Let's try some. So this first one, let's rewrite it on your whiteboards really quickly. I don't want it with square roots because you're going to see we're going to start simplifying these babies. We're going to do it with rational exponents. So we're going to say x. Well, here's what. It doesn't matter whether that exponent is right next to him or it's on the outside. If it's making it bigger, it goes in the numerator, and his level of house arrest, okay, this guy's like an axe murderer. He's like living now, he has to be house arrest, I guess, in someone's basement or something, because it's a level 5. Does that make sense? So could you do the second one for me really quick? Just scroll it down. Write it as a exponent, as a rational exponent. We're going to do that in a second. If you wrote this, x to the 3 over 8, you are fire. You are fire, right? And we could also go backwards. If I gave you x to the 3/7 and I said write it backwards, you would do this. You'd say that level is a 7, but his exponent is a 3, right? We can go backwards and forwards. Well, let's talk about this last one. And this last one is weird because it's got some tricks to it that take it from algebra 2 to pre-calc. So here we go. We're looking at this guy right here. So the first thing I would like you to do is I'd like you to rewrite this bottom part, just the bottom part, as a letter with a rational exponent. So start that first. So it's 1 over something. Do that right now. And this is the part you need to listen to. If you're like, I'm going to ignore most of what she says. Here's where you're not going to. I know. Just, there you go. So most of you should do this. Most of you are going to be like, Miss T, that's to the 2. Remember, if it says nothing, it's a 2. And you're going to say, that's 5/2. And I'm like, yay for you. That is awesome. Now, when I taught algebra 2, this would be an acceptable answer. But it's not a great answer. Is there a way we could do it so it doesn't have a fraction, so I don't have it down here? What could I do to bring this up to the top if I wanted to? I could make it what? How do I move the location? Make a negative. That's the whole point of negative exponents, is that you can change. If it's like, hey, Miss T, you said we can't have roots in the denominator, then I'm going to say, you're right. Let's write it like this. And when I taught Algebra 2, that's as far as we went. That's as far as we went. But this is pre-calc. And if you went, and if you, for my juniors who are about to take an SAT one last time, I think it's in April, and for my seniors, in June, for my seniors who are might be getting ready to do placement tests in June, this would not be an acceptable answer because they're going to say no negative exponents. So what the hell do we do? So I need everyone to put their pens down and absolutely watch me. So John, this is the time when the phone goes down because this part you want to watch. Okay, this is weird. I'm going to show you what the actual answer is. So welcome to pre-calc. Here's what I want you to realize. We are never allowed to have roots in the denominator. This was on your test. Some of you had this answer on your test. And you know what you did. You did this action. And you got root 6 over 6, which was awesome. And some of you realized it was that cosine thing with the negative. That was awesome. Because you moved the root out of the denominator. So here's what we're going to talk about. So everyone's watching. If I have a fraction in the denominator, put your thing away from it. Put it down. You are telling me that you have a root in the denominator, and I'm not allowed to do that. I can have roots in the top. I can have fractions on the top, but I can't have fractions on the bottom. I need this guy to get to the closest whole number that I can get him to. So watch what I'm thinking. So see if you can bear with me on this. Imagine that you are eating a cake and you made it and you're going to make it for your class. And you made it at night, and in the morning you got up and realized that your dad got up early for work and he saw the cake and he took a piece out of it. But you don't want that because you have to take it to school. So you're going to randomly try to build a piece of cake to fill in this spot, right? That's what we're going to do here. This guy is 2.5. And I need him to be the next closest whole number, bigger than 2.5. What would be the next closest whole number to 2.5? Someone say it's 3. It would be 3. I need to get this guy to 3. In other words, he's missing a half. So I am going to give him a half. Is everybody cool with what I'm doing there? But I can't just randomly do that in math. If I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. So let's see now what I have on the bottom. On the bottom, I have 5 over 2 plus 1 over 2, which is 6 over 2. How much is that? X to the third. It is x to the third, and I have x to the 1/2. And that, without the 1, is the correct answer. So if you are taking a test, because this is pre-calc, they would have these other answers. They would be wrong. This crazy answer is right, because our new rule is this. No, you can have fraction exponents, but they can't be in the denominator. Are we cool on that? Because I have to think to myself, how can I get this to a whole number? Yeah, so watch this. If I had, this is a great question. If I had x to the 5/6, 1/6, beautiful. What if I had x to the 3/10? Yes, perfect. Y'all cool on that? That was a great conversation. So you want to know, how do I know to add the 1/2? I need to get to the next whole number. So if I have 3 over 10, I need it to be a whole number. How much more do I have? 7/10. Does that make sense? Okay, so here we go. You got it. I would like you to try this one, switch it, and then put it in the right form. Letter A. Try letter A. Try letter A. You got a letter A. Right here? Or D. Letter D. Letter D. Got it. And I got you. We're doing letter D, guys. Letter D. This is tricky.
It took a leftover. He's like, no, you gotta do it like this. But he didn't know what extra I was trying to do. Oh. It's not like get my side over here. I thought that is important. I couldn't just put two and two together. Oh, I do all the time. I don't know. How do you, what's the correct form for wow? Get it in the right. You feel it right here, like all the way up, and then pull down, like right, like the top of your chest. Like when you pull it down, like my body actually put my elbows for me. You go like this. Use the black line.
And so what do I got on
My hands are just football.
over?
I have to very
Yes.
I like
Nice. Hey, I'm going to show you the answer I got from my friend Colton. See if you're as smart as he is. This is what he got. I will do it for you. How do we need? So I'm not seeing very many people with this answer. You want me to do it? Yes. Okay. Okay. So here's what Colton and I did. We started by rewriting this as a fractional thing. So 1 over, remember our jail is on the denominator, our exponent is on the top. There we go. Now, he's not a whole number. I need to get him to that next whole number. And that next whole number is going to be 6/3. So he needs more. So I need to give him 2 more thirds here and 2 more thirds here. Now on the top, I got 6/3, which is 2. And I mean on the bottom, and the top is just fine. So I am allowed. I had people in A period saying, well, do I have to get rid of that fraction? No, because if you do, it'll put it on the bottom. And then you get rid of the bottom and go to the top. Top is okay, bottom not okay. Yep, are we good? Okay, now that's, oh, and the next, how about the next one? Could you do the next one? Here's my hint. Write this as a fraction, and then here's what I want you to do after that. Write this outside as a fraction, and then put them together. Give that a try. There's no top-bottom thing. It's not a fraction. Perfect. Now go parentheses on the outside. And that is to the 1/4. You see why? Yeah, yep. And now, what do I do when I raise a power to a power? There you go. Did you get this? X to the 1/12? Because once I'm going, because he's a jail. There you go. Yeah, okay? Yeah, you good? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's the easy part. Here we go. We're gonna roll our shoulders back. We're gonna take a deep breath. We're doing 2 problems, so we got this. Oh, good question. So, do you agree that we got this guy going on like this? Are you cool with that? Yeah. And then I thought, wait a second, I can write him like that. And then 1 times 1, 2 times 4. Okay, here we go. I'm not gonna lie. This baby's Brayden, this baby is no joke. You're gonna write this on your whiteboard. You're gonna take a deep breath in. We're gonna work our way through this. But this baby is challenging, and we can do this. This one and the next one, if we can do them, we got this. But this is definitely pre-calc, right? If I had done this last year, I probably made my students prior 2 years, right? So here's what I'm going to start with. My advice to you is a couple things. First thing is, No root sign. We don't do square roots. So the first thing that you're going to want to change, you're going to want to make that 5 halves, right? Next thing you want to do is send this guy everywhere. Do that and stop. And then we're going to talk about what to do next. So first thing is send everything out and get rid of the roots. And then just take a breath and stop. And then we'll put stuff together. Yep, it goes to everyone. Here's a hint. Don't forget that little baby 1. Okay, so I need, gentlemen in the back, I need you to do this problem. Okay, so have you done the first part where you, okay, you with me? Okay, here we go. 2 to the negative 2, x to the negative 6, y to the negative 8, 3, y to the 4, x to the 5 halves. Have I lost anybody? Now I'm going to be honest, when we simplify, we have choices here. What you do next is kind of up to you how you want to handle it. So I'm going to do what makes sense to me. Like that starts me off. The next thing I'm going to do, because I feel better about it, is I'm going to put stuff where they belong. It just is easier for me to do. But I have some kids who are like, can I start combining? You can, if that works for you. But for me, I'm happier moving stuff where they belong. So is everybody cool with that? I'm going to make that into 2 to the positive 2 on the bottom, which is 4. Did I lose anyone with that? Is everybody cool with that? Yeah? I'm going to move the x to the negative 6. I'm going to put it on the bottom. Again, some of you are going to be like, Miss T, I did it different. And as long as you get the same thing, yay for you. I am going to do the 8, the y to the 8 on the bottom. I'm going to leave the 3 up here. And then I am going to say the 4. I'm going to put him over here so he's like above this other y guy. So I have them together. And then finally, I've got this guy. Did I lose anybody? Okay, so here we go. This is where this baby gets dicey. Let's start with stuff that's easy. 3 and the 4, they're good. Leave them alone. And let's do the y's, because the y's are easy. They're nice, regular numbers. So this guy goes away, and this guy becomes 4. Are we okay? Okay, so now we're going to have to do a little bit of subtraction here. But the key to tonight is common denominator. That's 2.5 and that's 6. So I'm going to make them both over the number 2. So instead of being 6 over 1, I'm going to make it 12 over 2. Is everybody with me? Now let's do a little subtracting. I got 5 over 2 on the top and 12 over 2 on the bottom. So I am going to have 7 over 2. Now, when I did this in Algebra 2 Trig back in the day at Clayton Valley, that's kind of where I would stop. But this is pre-calc. We cannot have a fraction on the bottom. So I need this guy, this x. I'm dealing just with him to get to the nearest whole number. He is at 7 over 2. What would be the next whole number I could give him to get to the whole number of 8 over 2? What is he missing? A 1/2 or a 1 over 2. So I'm going to give it to him here, and I'm going to give it to him here. Are we feeling okay? Last step is this. 7 plus 1 is 8. Divided by 2 is 4. So bless you. Bless you. And that is the answer. Is it crazy? It is. It is. It's a chunky one. Let's be honest. Let's go back. How are you going to use the freaking unit circle?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, that's a slippery slope. There's a Louis C.K. thing that goes like this.
The fries on the board, bro.
His mom was a teacher, and he talks about it's supposed to be a skit where he acts out a teacher going in for an interview, and the person goes, "So what's his job?" And the principal goes, you have to make kids know math. And the person goes, do they want to know math? And the person goes, no, you must force them to know it against their will. Isn't that my job? I force you to know math against your will. Okay, last one, best one. Here we go. Write this down with me. Oh, she's a real one. She's a real one. X to the 2. If you guys could do this, you've got this. But it's not easy. Welcome to pre-calc. Welcome to the bad choice that you made to take this class. Kidding. I love how, oh, sorry, that's supposed to be an X. I'm rewriting the problem because I had it in M's and N's, and people got mad at me. They're like, why are you using those dumb letters? It is a 4. There. X. Okay. Here is my advice. Are you ready? On your whiteboard, guys. Clean up the top. Get all your X's all squished together with a common denominator. Get all your Y's all squished together with a common denominator. That's how I do it. I don't want so many freaking X's and Y's. Get down to 1 X on the top and 1 Y on the top, 1 X on the bottom, 1 Y on the bottom. Do that first with your neighbors. I like when even my algebra teacher
get it over 4. Yeah, and there's just the normal.
No, because you know what? They do fine because sometimes they see it for the first time and they get it.
Add the fraction.
So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my X's together. So I'm going to make this 8 over 4. Are you cool with that? And then we're going to add them. So it will be 9 over 4. You got it. And then I'm going to make this negative 4 over 4. So is everybody cool with what I did there? I just got some common denominators. I'm going to put all my X's together and all my Y's. So I got a new line. Here it is right there. I got that stupid 4. Sorry about that. It just hangs out. I'm going to have X to the 8 over 4 plus 1 over 4, 9 over 4. Beautiful. And then I'm going to have 7 over 4, take away 4 over 4, Y, 3 over 4. And then these two guys just come along for the ride. Here we go. Wow. Wow. Okay. How are we feeling? Are we feeling like, okay, that's not as scary. Okay. 4 is fine. Let's deal with our X's. We're going to deal with our X's. I'm going to have to combine these, but they don't have the same denominator. I got one with a 4 on the bottom, one with a 3 on the bottom. So my common denominator is going to be 12. That was a fire. So here we go. I need this to turn into 12. So I'm going to make this, I'm going to times by 3, times by 3. Are we okay with that? Times by 4, times by 4. Okay. So here we go. The 4 is up there. X, 27, take away 16, 11 over 12. Is it stupid? Yes. Is it okay though? Yeah. Okay, he's done. 4 is done. Okay. See, I erase as I go, so it's not as scary. One last step. Let's get a common denominator here. Let's make this 8 over 4. So here's what I've got. Y equals 8 over 4. Oh, I'm going to do it over here. Sorry. Let's do a little subtracty action. Y equals 3 and 8. That's going to be 5 over 4. I'm almost home. I'm so close. This dude is not a whole number. I need to get him to the closest whole number. what's going to be the closest whole number? He's like at 1 1/4. I need to get him to 2. So he needs 3/4 here and 3/4 up there. So watch what I do. Y equals 3/4 there. 3/4 there. Yes, it would have been the same answer the other way for the smart people. That becomes. That is a get. Is that real? It's real. It's real. It's real scary. Okay. Huh? You know, because you're saying why? Because I didn't need to, because there was a whole number on the bottom. Because I'm worried that some of the ones on the homework will not do it nicely. So I wanted to do the whole stuff. Yes. But the two on the homework have to be changed. I don't want, the others didn't change. Okay, your homework is super easy. Super short. 1, 2, 9, 11, 12. And if it was me, I would do 11 right now with your neighbors and 12 once you are stupid and me. 1, 2, 9, 11, 12. 1, 2, 9, 11, 12.
So much better.
If you want to say, Miss Dee, I don't want to do 1 2, I want to do 11 and 12. Then 9 is a good one. If you're gonna just do 11 and 12, which is fine, you gotta get them right. You gotta be able to get them right.
You see my 95%?
Yeah, I was very proud of you. I'm not gonna lie. It's the front. It is. You totally.
I studied the next
If you want to see guys to do 11 and 12, you can. But you gotta do 11 and 12. If you miss 11 and 12, we'll go back and try number 9. Yeah, maybe I would do that. Number 9 is a little easier. So you can either go 9, 11, 12, 1 and 2, or just to practice.